making breakfast. So I thought it would be a good idea for you guys to cook with me. Alright, so this morning I'm not normally like, I do eat. I mean, I love to eat, but to be honest, I'm not really motivated to cook every day. So normally I have just like a bowl of cereal on the weekends, because when I'm at work I have breakfast at work. I don't get up every day and make breakfast, but this morning if I do make breakfast, it's going to be cereal or pancakes and eggs. I'm sorry, I don't do the traditional Jamaican breakfast because it requires too much, and I live alone and we know how it goes with the cleaning up, and also I'm very busy. Like, I'm really busy, so don't judge me for not being a traditional Jamaican. All right, so I have my tea right there because that's where I have space. I live in a small studio apartment, so I don't really have a lot of space. So everything is going to be done here. All right. Alright, so I think I wanted to talk about, the truth about depression. I have been very open with my struggle with depression. I mean, I don't know if you know, but recently, or for the past month, I have been in the press. I've been on Smile Jamaica, I've been in the Gleaner, in the Mirror, I've been most recently on Fit FM speaking about my struggles with depression. I have been invited to forums. I was on the G2K forum speaking about my struggle with depression, and also on AOJ Jamaica speaking about my struggle with depression. What I realized is some of the feedback that I got is that a lot of persons are not really aware of what depression is, and also they are kind of oblivious to how you treat someone with depression. And I had a very interesting conversation with someone the other day who said that unfortunately his sister was going through depression and she ended up committing suicide about 10 years ago. And it got me to thinking, because he was like, it took him a while to forgive her, it took him a while to get over it. And then I started to explain some things to him, and then he started to realize that I didn't really know much about this disease. So I thought that it would be necessary to come out and say some things about depression. What I learned is, because I do study psychology, and it gives me some insight of what it is, but going through it is totally different than theory. So what I learned is depression can be caused by environmental factors, genetic factors, but also it can just be a chemical imbalance in the brain. So there is a lot of, I don't want to get too scientific, but there is some, the happy hormones and the sad hormones and all that kind of thing. And just like other mental illnesses, it's an imbalance in what happens in the brain. For me, I really don't know what caused mine. I feel like it's environmental factors, but it can also be a combination of all three. Now, some of the symptoms that I found for myself for depression was suicidal thoughts, visualization of death. Before those started to happen for me, I had no motivation to do anything. I had no motivation to cook, to shower, to paint. There was this feeling of unproductivity. I would have difficulty falling asleep at night and difficulty staying asleep when I do fall asleep at night. And then in the days I'll be exhausted, because biology, the body go get tired. I'll be exhausted in the days, and then the exhaustion come, and then you're irritated because you're so exhausted and you don't really know what happened to you. You feel constantly sad, constantly tired, and then the guilt comes in because you say, but I really and truly may have to worry about what is really causing me to be this sad. And so that's some of the stuff that happens In my case, that's what happened. And the persons around me realized, no, it's good that you can identify when you're going through depression, but for the persons around you, it is really difficult, really, really difficult. So if you have someone, if you have a loved one going through depression, you have to also be mindful of yourself. I would say educate yourself on, you know, what depression is. If you realize that someone around you is going through depression, educate yourself on what depression is, and yeah, try to find the resources. Don't go to them and say to them, say, oh, you're just lazy now, you know, it soon pass, or say, pray about it. Yes, prayer works, but trust me, a believer in Christ would have prayed a lot about it before even saying something to you. Or sometimes, you know, that would have crossed their minds, but they just need something else. So I would say definitely get some information on the disease and do your research if you are going through it, and also if you know somebody who's going through it, because it really and truly does help for you to understand, what do I do as someone who is supportive of you, or what do I do for myself. I have always been an advocate for therapy before I've had my own struggle of depression and anxiety, but I can't stress it enough how helpful it has been for me in this struggle that I've had. By the way, the pancake didn't burn up. And I have to say, you know, I am an avid cook, if you say. I try multitask. I tried this multitask thing, and I said, oh, let me cook with the fans on YouTube, or let me cook with the people. Pancake will not turn on the stove. You don't know why it's so high in the first place. Oh my god. I forgot I wrote the pot for cool. I burned up the pancake. Yeah, so I'm gonna cool down the pan a little bit. I don't really want the rest of the pancake and burn up. So yes, get yourself educated on depression. Don't force somebody who's going through depression to get help, because some of the times they're in denial and they don't know what they're going through. Don't force them, but encourage them. And anybody at all can go through depression. Anybody at all. Anybody. A good indicator is not that the person is always smiling. I heard one person say that a good indicator is that the person's always smiling. No, that's not a good indicator. A good indicator that someone might be going through something. You don't necessarily have to be, it doesn't have to be depression, is isolation. Realizing that they have no interest going through or doing the things that they normally do. You know, they're normally excited about going out, they're normally excited about watching their series, they're normally excited about inviting people over, they're normally excited about doing their work when they're at work, and then all of a sudden that interest is no longer there. You know, that's a good indicator. They can still smile, they can still be laughing, but they don't have no interest in themselves. A person who is going through that kind of thing, I want to say sometimes self-sabotage and speak very poorly of themselves, and think poor thoughts of themselves, but for other people, they they can be there. They have functional depression. Let the pot cool down a little bit now. I don't know what was that. Also, the pancake here are cool for different sizes. That was not what I set out to do this morning. I normally like them small. I don't normally like them like the big size, the IHOP size. I normally like them kind of miniature. So yes, some myths of depression. Not everybody who thinks about suicide will go ahead and do suicide or commit suicide. If somebody tells you they go commit suicide, don't bother say to them, say, oh yeah, go and do it. Yeah, because they just tell them, say, okay, you're not wanted. But I do remember somebody saying that if somebody really wants to commit suicide, they're going to go ahead and do it. So that's the time when you need to intervene. I'd say if somebody comes and tell you that they have suicidal thoughts, one thing that works for me is being held to feel like, okay, I'm not alone, and being told you're not alone. But the action is more for, the action works for me. Just somebody being there, holding me. You're not alone, Kadeen. if you're not alone. You're not alone. That's it. You're not alone. I'm here for you. Anything that you need, anything that you need, just let me know. But I said to them, say, boy, come out of the bad feeling, man, it soon pass. I'm going to look, sir. I'm going to get my face, sir. Nobody. That is a bit too much and really unnecessary. But with all of that, just, I'll be here for you. Remember the times that you've gone through this before and God pulled you through. It's going to happen again for you, sis. Nobody remind them how they're strong, because I feel like they know that they are strong. Just be there. Sometimes unsolicited advice is not helpful because you might trigger them. You may trigger a response that you don't want, because that might cause them to be pulled more into isolation, and you don't want that. You don't want that, because when a depressive person isolates themselves from everybody, like, you don't want to know the thoughts that's going through their minds. But I'd say do your research, of course. The Ministry of Health has a lot of information on their website for mental illness and how you can deal with it if you are going through it, or if you know somebody who is going through it. And just be kind, people, please. Be kind to yourself and to others. One of the things that I realized has worked extremely well for me is to have no expectations of anybody. I only hold myself accountable for the things that I do, but I have no expectations of anybody. Like, honestly, I'm not the type of person who walk around and feel like, oh, this person bad mind me, this person envy me, this person jealous of me. And I honestly, I don't really have time for that. And if you really and truly, you haven't taken time for them flip it. But if you really and truly feel like people have that much time to be thinking about you, like, me really and truly not so concerned about how people view me. I don't expect other people to always be there for me. I don't expect other people to make me feel better. I used to, for certain persons, I used to expect that, my significant other would do that for me, or my parents would do that for me. But you are the only person who can do that for yourself. If you are not happy with yourself, nobody's not happy with your one. And no matter what somebody does for you, you're not gonna be able to appreciate it, because you don't feel like won't feel like you deserve it. So can't really tell some I struggle. So when me come embarrass myself on the YouTube and can't cook 2 little pancakes. Yeah. Don't have too much expectations of people. Don't expect people to figure out your life for you. As I've always said, everybody has their own purpose, and you have to find that purpose for yourself. When I went through my aggressive depression, I'd say, because at any point at all it can come back, but I'm deliberately doing things not to allow it to come back. When I was going through that, that's when I was able to realize my purpose and go through the necessary process of really feeling like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and feeling like, okay, if I don't do this, might as well just wither away. It's not the job of anybody else to make you happy. They have their own self on their plate to make themselves happy. And sometimes when you have unrealistic expectations of people, that stresses you out, and that stresses them out too. Because you're like, why they not do this to me? Why they not do that? Why are you not doing that for yourself? Why are you not being there for yourself? Why are you not being kinder to yourself? I have found that when I replaced those expectations of other persons and placed them on myself, I expect myself to be kind to myself. I expect myself to show myself love. I expect myself to give myself the things that I need for myself. No boyfriend, no parents, no sister. Like, you don't have expectations of people, because people have their own lives. When I think say people are people and people not mean and whatever. No, people have their own life. They have their own lives. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be there for others, but be there for yourself first, and expect that other persons will be there for themselves first. Sometimes people are going through some stuff, I'm not even know, so they might go through anything else because they put on a brave face. So you just feel like, oh, because they go through the world, and you feel like you have the world on your shoulders, and them look like nothing not going on for them life. It's okay for you to have some unrealistic expectations of them? I think not. So, yeah. That's my 2 cents on that. What's a big pancake? So that really helps me. That has really helped me in my my self-discovery and recovery of this thing. But I do hope that we're kinder to ourselves. The Bible talk about how God loves us, and God said, He'll never leave us or forsake us. He speaks so lovely about His children. I mean, He has wonderful things to say about us. And why do we feel like we need to speak opposite of ourselves? Why do we feel like we need to be mean to ourselves and mean to others? If we're God's children, I feel like a real disrespect when I speak badly of myself. I feel like I'm disrespecting God more than myself, because I am His child, and I feel like I should be kinder in the words that I say to myself, instead of saying, oh, my worthless. No, I've never said that. I've never said that. I think some of the thoughts that I used to have, and I don't like repeating them, but for the sake of the video, some of the thoughts that I used to think that I don't deserve anything good. I used to think that I was average. I used to think that all these nice things that people would say about me, I wouldn't see it in myself. Like, oh, you're a great artist, or you're a nice person, you're always there for. I didn't feel like I was. I always thought that I was lacking as a friend. Oftentimes, I feel like I try to overcompensate being there for other people and also neglecting myself. So now that I have done the work, I can reap the rewards. Let me just show you how beautiful this pancake is. I mean, I take credit because I'm a pancake from scratch, but look how beautiful my pancake is. Yeah, that's beautiful. And then I'm gonna do the scrambled eggs. I don't even want to show you the bun up one then. I feel like embarrassing. I'm not sure. It's really embarrassing. Really embarrassing. I like to drink my tea before I have my breakfast so that it can do the work that it needs to do in me. And like after probably 11 o'clock, I soon 12 o'clock. But I like to have my tea first, and then with breakfast I have juice or water. So I'm just having some peppermint tea, and it tastes like it's too sweet. Time for the eggs. I normally do my pancakes and eggs in one pot. When I wash roti, no. Because I just use butter to scramble the egg, and I use butter for the pancakes as well. So I just feel like it's okay. I feel like it's okay to do it in one pot, and I don't do anything cross-contaminate. I do the pancakes first so that the raw egg is not there to give me any kind of. I already mixed up the egg. Now, fun fact, I have on my mom's side, I have like 8 uncles. Of the 8 uncles, I think about 5 or 6 of them are chefs, so they were probably really disappointed when they see the video here that I'm burning up some regular pancake. My mom is an excellent cook. I have about 3 cousins who are no, more than that. I don't know, but I know 3 cousins in Jamaica are also cooks, chefs, and I'm sorry to let the family down this morning with my 2 burnt pancakes, but I promise you that I can actually cook. I've been living on my own for 6 years now, and I'm still alive and kicking, so I'm not terrible. I just normally do one whole YouTube video while I'm cooking. And I'm sorry to disappoint you that I'm not doing like a fancy ackee and saltfish with green bananas and yam and fried dumplings. On a Sunday, that's what my mom, that's something mom normally cooking, and she have like porridge and all that kind of something as well. I'm just doing something to get me through till dinner and to keep me up, because I have some paintings to complete, some orders to do. I may have other things in the house with it. You know? Maybe one day when I'm cooking, like, oh, probably Christmas. I should be doing some of the meals for Christmas, so I can probably vlog that for Christmas. The eggs are really white because I put a lot of milk. I really little bit. I know I'm gonna manage with all of them pancake here. How much pancake I have? Lord have his mercy. 6 pancakes. I just 2 eggs. But I really want the cholesterol really high, so 2 eggs will be fine. Ideally, I would want to have fruits in the morning, but who am I kidding? I'm on a budget. And I don't like going to the market. I really don't like going to the market. No, I'm not going to buy fruits in the supermarket. No. The market is a whole other scene for me, and it really and truly causes anxiety to me. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I think about going there, it stresses me out. And it seems to me to put myself through so much unnecessary stress, unnecessary anxiety. I don't feel like I need to put myself through that unnecessary anxiety, you know. I don't want to. So breakfast is ready. I'm not finna drink my tea, but I am going to go put them burn up and looking on there to the side and make my plate look presentable. One of them bigger than one. But I like when my food is presented somewhat properly, because then it's more palatable for me. But here's breakfast. You like it? I do. Anyway guys, I'm gonna have this now. That is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can see every time that I upload. Bye guys, and thank you for having a sip of wine with Kadz. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.